And look, some people was cracking jokes on him, talking about he ain't scoring on the court, he's scoring off the court. And I'm not even gonna repeat what a lot of the other comments said, right? But I will say this. I want to get on here and talk about Zion Williams yet again. I feel like I'm almost picking on this man, but I promise I'm not trying to pick on this man. It's just so many things he's doing. I feel like a lot of young guys can learn from his mistakes, man. And so I gotta point it out, man. And we gotta talk about Zion Williams again, man. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater, man. This is like my third video. I'm really just saying this as somebody who hates to see potential get wasted. Because right now, man, the story is not just Zion might get traded. It's a bigger headline. The Jordan brand is ending Zion's contract. They ending the man sneaker line, bruh. The Jordan Zion line. Multiple reports say they're not planning to release another model after the Zion 4. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't know what a Zion 1 look like. You know what I'm saying? I might just be out of touch because I do tend to keep my head down, you know what I'm saying, to the ground. But after the Zion 4, for the people that bought the 1, 2, and the 3, there's no more. So that might be a collector's edition 20, 30 years from now. But look, that's not a small thing, man, because Zion's original deal was reported as a 7-year, $75 million contract when he entered the league, when he first got in the league. So that's not just internet gossip. You know, that was a real contract that's now disappearing, right? And so for all of the fellas that watch me, you don't usually lose the bag from one mistake, right? You lose it from a pattern. And usually that pattern follows along the lines of inconsistency, distractions, whether it's women, drugs, whatever your distraction is, not protecting your body, because as an athlete, your body is your asset. So why wouldn't you invest $1 million like LeBron does every year in his body? It should go without saying to protect your reputation, right? Your reputation is everything. And a lot of people, especially a lot of young guys, they don't take all of the boring stuff seriously. They just want to get to the fun. They just want to get the check and get to the fun. But you have to think about all of the boring stuff that comes with that big responsibility of having a check or a bag that big, worth millions, right? When millions on the line, bro, that's generational wealth. I ain't thinking about nothing else. And I know a lot of people be like, well, yeah, man, you say that because you ain't never woo woo woo. But nah, bro, like I've always had opportunities with women. Since I was little, so money didn't mean nothing. I could get women without money. I wasn't one of them cats I'm not one of them cats that have to have money in order to feel like I'm worth something to a woman, right? You got to think about the small things, man. And just looking at some of the comments, man, with some of these stories going around the internet. I mean, it's all over the internet now. But one guy commented, he was like, bruh, this isn't bad luck anymore. This is who he's chosen to be. Another commenter said, usually it takes something controversial to lose a shoe deal. Him losing it because they don't believe in him should motivate him, right? And that's the key word right there. They don't believe in him anymore. Because in business, if you ever watch Shark Tank, they're not just investing in a person's business idea or a person's business. They're investing in that person, right? They're investing on what you represent. They're investing on what you represent, right? If every time you go viral in the news, it's behind you messing with a corn star, then that don't really look good for big brands. You know what I mean? And so you kind of cancel yourself out. Potential can only get you so far, guys. And as I said earlier, I don't know one person who bought a pair of Air Zions or Zion 3s, 2s. Personally, I know. And I'm not here to clown his shoes because honestly, I'm really trying to give y'all a deeper point. You know what I mean? If fans don't connect with you and you're not consistently on the court, then the products don't really move like that. You know what I'm saying? A brand partnership is basically, it's a bet. We believe you will be present. We believe you will be productive, and we believe that you will be promotable, right? And when things start looking shaky, and then the brand start quietly pulling back from what's being reported, man, Zion may still be on the Jordan roster as an athlete for now, but the signature line is what's ending, man. I mean, and that's a huge distinction, man. You know, being a Jordan athlete is cool. When I was coming up, you know what I mean? Like Jordan, I mean, it has legacy behind that brand, you know, and then having your own line is power in and of itself. The signature line would have been legacy money, but he couldn't be a disciplined man. Right? And look, some people was cracking jokes on him, talking about he ain't scoring on the court, he's scoring off the court. And I'm not even gonna repeat what a lot of the other comments said, right? But I will say this. If you're a man with a rare gift, you have to understand something, man. Your life is gonna come with temptations and distractions that other people don't deal with on that level. Even having a moderate level of success comes with distractions, because I've had to overcome distractions. Now, it's a good thing that I learned in my 20s that a woman can destroy everything if you don't be very selective on your little head discipline. You know what I'm talking about? I learned that lesson very early. And that's the one lesson that a lot of men today have a hard time with, right? You know, that lust demon. You know what I'm saying? And though life is gonna come with those temptations, so the discipline is not don't have fun. You can have fun, but the discipline is don't let the fun have you. You know, once he started making millions, his game started declining. It was almost like you know, that's not always literally true, but I mean, I'm gonna use a real quick example in my own life. Like, one of my biggest things was to buy myself a beautiful home. Not a mini mansion or nothing like that, but you know, something that ain't regular, but something that's a nice, beautiful home, right? For me and my family. And when I got that, man, I had hustled for so many years, man, 15, 16 hours a day, so many. And then when I got it, man, the first couple of years I was in the house, man, I was chilling. Like, I wasn't going as hard as I was. I mean, I wasn't as ambitious as I wanted to be, because I'm like, man, I made it. You know where I'm coming from, where I come from, right? And so a lot of people think the same way. Oh, I made it. I got drafted. I got my $1 million check. That's it. I can chill. I can coast. I can Cadillac now. That's when the game is just beginning, right? That's when the game is just beginning. You know what I'm saying? But the principle here is true, man. I've said it many times. Money can expose who you really are. If you were disciplined before, money amplifies that discipline, right? If you was undisciplined before, money amplifies that too. Money just makes you more of who you already was, right? And now, on the trade side of the game, it's been a lot of chatter that the Wizards could be a long shot suitor ahead of February, right? And I saw a comment saying he got to get up out of New Orleans and surround himself with the right people. And that's important, man. I got to be real, though, man. You can't run from yourself. A trade is not going to fix this. A new city is not going to fix old habits. A new team doesn't fix the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis, bro. A new environment can help, and I always encourage that, but only if the man actually changes, right? Because the real right people start with strength and conditioning discipline, right? He struggled with his weight, sleep, nutrition, an accountability circle. He got yes men around him, obviously, and a schedule that protects your career. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, man, that every young basketball playing kid wish they would have had, bro. But that's boring. That's not viral. But that's what greatness is built on. right? That's what made a Michael Jordan. That's what made a Kobe Bryant, right? I saw another comment that said, this shows how great and focused LeBron is. Zion is showing how easy it is to drop the ball. But look, LeBron came in with pressure that was insane. And he built an identity around that consistency, right? It ain't no question with that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what Zion is missing right now. Identity. Because if you Zion, when I think of Zion, I think, oh, he's an athlete with all of this potential who addicted to corn stars, right? I don't think about his talent first anymore. Because if you're Zion, you don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be predictable in the areas that matter, man. You need to be available. You need to be doing your conditioning, and you need to be professional, especially when you got multi-million-dollar brand deals, man. And when people don't know which version of you is showing up at any given time, the league just adjusts, and then the brand adjusts, and then your money adjusts downward, my brother. You feel me? And so the part people avoid, man, accountability, bro. And here's where I'm different from a lot of other creators, because I'm not rooting for Zion to fail. I don't never want to see nobody fail, right? But a lot of other people think, what a waste of talent. He has no one to blame but himself. And while that's harsh, the accountability part is true, man. The word accountability is a class that needs to be had in college. But also people saying, hey, I'm still pulling for him. I hope he makes adjustments. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm always at, man. I don't ever want to count out the little engine that could. Because Zion is still young. He's still young enough to flip the story. And if he's willing to do what most men won't do, just admit the truth. Don't make no excuses for yourself. Get in the best shape of your life. Build a structure that protects you from yourself, Zion, and stay available. And I add this, sometimes you don't even need motivation. You need systems, because motivation disappears, man, and system stays, man. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it right there, man. What you think about this situation, man? I love to see your comments, man. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy B Straight, and I'm gonna get at you on the next.